Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, if hopefully you've watched my previous video on the transmission fluid change on my Nissan Frontier. Well, I'm doing a follow-up video. I discovered that the transmission was fine, and the overdrive was fine. Everything was fine with that. So it turns out all along it was a dead battery. This battery, now the reason I didn't think it was a battery is the way it felt in the truck while you're driving. It felt like the gear was slipping, but what was happening is the motor was dying because the battery was dead. And so it felt like the transmission was slipping. So I put the battery tester on this last night, and before we get to this test, I tested it, and it tested recharge, retest. So I put the battery on a battery charger for about 2.5 hours last night. The charger said it was charged, but then I got up this morning and retested it twice, and so that's the test results right there. It's a recharge, retest. And it says state of health is 65%. And then it says the state of charge is 0. And that the co-cranking amps is only 547. And it's only putting out 12 volts. Which, if this is a fairly new battery, when you get a brand new, they read like 13 volts. So there's definitely, this battery is definitely shot. Which I'm gonna see if I can get a refund. I just got a bad battery. But anyway, I just wanted to share this and do a follow-up video. So my transmission's fine. It's got brand new fluid in it. I think I still, in the spring, I'll still take the filter off in the pan and then refill it again. Just because that filter's got 70,000 miles on it. Plus there's magnets in the bottom of that transmission pan that you need to clean off. So I want to do that, and but I'm still going to do that. So that's something that I'll still do with the transmission. But this is what the problem was. The battery, you know, the engine was struggling to run, I guess. And it would just die, and it shut off. I remember the first time when I noticed this was going on, it shut off. I had ran through the bank and it shut off, just shut off, and I was like, well, what's up with that? So I'm just happy it's the battery. So I'm gonna go get a new battery today and drop it in there, and then we'll see how it does then. And so always check and test your battery. That's why these battery testers are so awesome, because you could be thinking it's something else and really it's just your freaking battery. Okay, so apparently you're supposed to run an AGM battery in this truck, and guess what? This isn't an AGM battery. So that's why I'm having issues. Apparently you got to have an AGM battery because it's they're saying this, now this information is coming from Advanced Auto Parts, but they're saying that this has a high electrical load. So a starting battery, which this is what this is, you know, it's just a starting battery. It's for those initial starts, you know. It gets that initial burst. That's what these batteries are designed for. Well, an AGM, You know, you can run lights, you know, because it's a deep cycle, and it's a cross between a deep cycle battery and a starting battery. So anyway, that's what they require for this truck. And so I think that's why this is happening, is because even though it's a new battery, see, I bought this in May of this year. So even though it's a new battery, because it's a starting battery, it's not able to hold up to the demand, the electrical demand that this truck requires. So that's what the problem is. So let's go down to back down to advance and get a new battery. It looks like this one here is the gold. I think it's the Die Hard Gold. And so what I'm going to get is their AGM version of this battery, which is the Die Hard Platinum. So let's go get another battery, and hopefully this will be put to rest finally. Alright, I'm here at Advance Auto. We're gonna see if we can get this here battery exchanged. So let's get in there and see if we can't get us a new battery. Alright, there's the new one. I got the Die Hard Platinum, and it was pretty cool. They allowed me to, oh my gosh, that's heavy. Alright, let's get this in here. So they allowed me to exchange my old battery, and so I only had to pay $30 more for the AGM. So let's get this dude put in my truck and maybe take for a drive and see if that solved the issue. Fingers crossed. Put this freaking cart up. Little buggy. Complains. Glad I got this done. Alright, let's put this up. Get out of here. Alright guys and gals, I got the battery put in the truck, and I went ahead and did a test. This is what I found out. So it says good and pass on the brand new battery. State of health 100%. State of charge 74%. Measured co-cranking amps 936. So, and it says battery volts 12.45. So one thing I want to point out here is look at the co-cranking amps, 936. So the old one wasn't even putting out 600. So I'm going to get this hooked up, and then I'm going to take it for a drive, and hopefully this issue I've been chasing down is gone for good, you know. So anyway, we'll see in a minute here. Alright, I left the house already, and so far so good. It hasn't messed up on me yet. So as of right now, I think that was the problem, but I'm going to run up here to this gas station and go ahead and put some fuel in it like I had planned originally, and then we'll see how it does. But that old battery was, like I said, a starting battery, and it was only well, it was rated for 640 co-cranking amps, but the highest test that I had run, it showed 587 was the highest. So it definitely wasn't. The co-cranking amps definitely went away for whatever reason. And it's probably the higher electrical demand that this truck requires. That's why they recommend an AGM battery. So anyway, that you know, you learn something new. The more and more you dig into a vehicle, you learn more and more stuff about how to fix them. But so far, it hasn't done that anymore. Somebody's broke down right there. Take this little shortcut. But hopefully it's running great now. And you know, I got to thinking about it. I was pulling a boat, so the boat was running off this battery too, because you know I'd be running the lights, trailer lights, and then you're running the solenoid on the brakes on the trailer. So you're demanding more from your engine battery, and I think that may have contributed to the short life of that battery too. So I learned that this truck has more electrical demands than most vehicles. All right, so let's pull in here, put some fuel in this thing, and then see how she does. I'm almost flat on E. Let's see, I may have to go around here. Yeah, I'll go around. That's crazy. How a battery was the issue. Amazing. I think while I'm here, I'll check the transmission fluid since we're on a flat surface. All right, let me put some gas in this thing. Okay. So I put about 11 gallons or so in. Brought me up to 3/4 of a tank. All right, let's see how she does. So far, so good. So I'm going to take another back way, and it'll take a little bit longer to get home. So we'll see how it does. Plus, it's at now we're at operating temperature, so you know I forgot to check tranny fluid back there. But anyway, it's at operating temperature, so let's drive it a little bit and then see how it does. If it doesn't do it again, I'd say we got this thing licked. It does feel like it's running better, like it's running smoother. And maybe that fresh gas will help too. All right, so far so good. I can make a right on red, so. So evidently, that old battery was causing intermittent shorts somewhere in the electrical system. That's why you would lose power. Yeah, it's not rough idling anymore either. Yeah, you could definitely tell it's running better. Yeah, it seems to be fine. That's amazing. Wow. Okay, well, I think we solved the problem. So there you have it. Check your battery. That's why one of those battery testers is so great, because you could be, you know, had I not had that battery tester, I would have never known what was going on with my battery. You know, even though I took a multimeter and I tested the battery with the engine running, and it was 14 some odd volts, which it should be because the alternator's charging. And then I shut the engine off and it was reading 12.4 or something. But see, that old battery, you wouldn't have known what the cold cranking amps were doing. So by doing the battery test, that told me that, hey, this thing has lost its cold cranking ability. And you know, there were other measurements too that were just very indicative of a bad battery, like the where it showed battery health, it stayed in like 70%. So yeah, check your battery, guys. It's worth, I think that battery tester cost me $40. So I mean, it's worth every penny, because look how much money it saved me. I would have took it to a dealer or a shop and it would have been outrageous. So anyway, it worked out. I'm really happy, man. That's pretty cool. So anyway, check your vehicle. Make sure that it doesn't require, or you know, make sure it requires an AGM battery. Make sure, because see, I didn't know. I had no idea that this truck required an AGM battery. So anyway, guys, like and subscribe if you like this content. And you know, I think I ended the last video, I said, and hopefully the next project's not this thing. So anyway, I guess that didn't work out, but just goes to show you never know what you're gonna have to work on. So anyway, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Man, people throwing their trash out. It's terrible.